Hello, you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. It has been a few days and I've missed you guys. Hey, Preschool Granny. Hey, Scout. Hey, MK. Hippie Chick. Hey, Katrina. Let's see. Hey, Adrian. Butterfly Kisses. Hey, David. K-Braze. Pointer Lover. Nadie. Black Eagle. Hey, Tess. Good to see you guys. Hey, Shelly Bean. Hey, Violet. Hey, Paris. Artemis Prime. Hey, Jenny. How are you guys? I have missed you. I have been just, I guess, in a bit of a holiday funk mixed with holiday errands. Hey, Little Red Riding Hood. Hey, Natasha. Mixed with my phone is like completely broken now. And about 50% of the time, it's only lit up on the top half of the phone. So I can't even see what, it's just been extremely difficult. I should have a new phone here, though, in the next couple of days. I've already ordered it. But I just wanted to come on today and talk to you guys about a variety of things and about the last live, where it's at now. I had a few things that I need to have out here in the on the channel. So we're going to get into all of that really quickly. Let me just play a quick word from our holiday sponsor. I can't believe Christmas is almost here, y'all. Blue says, me too, Alex. I'm just not in the holiday spirit. Can we push Christmas back? Can we vote on it? No, let's get it over with. Dear Lord, please. I'm just ready for it to be said and done, even though I know that's probably not super cheerful for the holidays. By the way, Molly the Great, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, Brandy. Hey, Christina. Okay, first thing I wanted to tell you guys. Remember, after my cousin passed away, we, a lot of you guys wanted to, her daughter was doing that Little Miss Patriot competition, and a lot of you guys helped and wanted to help with that. And by the way, she won last night. So I had to update you guys. And on that, hey, Queen Bella. Hey, East Texas Chick. I am so not in the holiday spirit either. I want it to be done, done, done. Pointer Lover too. I'm ready for it to be over. Well, I think for adults, it's just a stressful time. For the kids, it's like you wait all year for this one day, and then you have to wait all year again, and then for that day, for that excitement. Samantha, same with me. Done, done, done. Hey, Helen. Wow, that's incredible. She deserved that. I know. I was so excited about that. Hey, Jacqueline. So, yeah, last night I was messaged a bunch of videos and pictures of it. I was going to show them. Maybe I'll show it later or on the members thing or something that's a little more private. But I just was happy to be able to tell you guys. I just sat there and cried watching it. Oh, anyways. So, hey, Beach Lover. Last time I'm really pissed off and disappointed about something. So the last live, which was the finale of the entire JailFile series, which 3,000 pages we dug through together, that took a lot to consistently, I can't tell you how many times I thought I would like to talk about something else, either in that case or other cases. But I thought, no, we need to just get through this file. We got to the last episode and I had a few different kites I pulled up by the page number. We talked about, I have the notes here from that live in front of me because the live is gone. We talked about her aliases. We saw a refusal, emails between staff at the jail when she refused court. We saw her evaluation order. We looked at the affidavit when she tried to escape, the order to seal her warrant. We looked at the paperwork that went along with her sentencing. Looked at some of her property list. And then we looked at a few kites. During the evaluation order, the refusal for court, when she refused and the employees were emailing back and forth to each other, there is a point in the live that zooms in on the address and the email address for one of the employees. The address, though, is not like a personal home address, but I guess YouTube picked it up and they took the video down. And usually you'll have an option to like edit something out, and I have no option for that. So now I'm really annoyed that the very last part of that entire series is gone. So I wanted to talk to you about that. Oh, thank you for joining, Helen. Thank you. So another thing that we talked about in that live that was really important to me, and I think it needs to be talked about and needs to be live on my channel. So the Jens and I, as you guys know, Jen, Lou, and I'm not watching chat because I'm trying to keep in my, like, stay on track with this particular subject, and then I will check on the chat. But so I was demonetized in November for reused content. I got that back, and you guys know that just happened to Jen Lou as well. And so it had us looking at things a little differently because we knew that there was a channel that was playing the calls without crediting us and without giving fair use. Hell, sometimes playing 10 minutes at a time, like an entire call with one pause in the middle, 5 minutes in, where they say, oh, I need to brush up on my Tisha stuff. I'm not sure about that. And then they keep playing. That's not commentary. It doesn't add value, and it's wrong. Well, we knew that this was happening for a while, and we were just like, well, whatever, screw it, because we really wanted this stuff to be public for everybody to use. Then after Jen got struck, we talked about it, something clicked, and we can't take it laying down. So we have a lot of stuff on the way right now, and we'll talk about that in a second. But I am going to say that I tried to do a copyright removal request, and that's just where you request them to take it down. I'm going to start filing strikes. This is the problem. This channel is taking calls that we put out together. So you guys know how we do it here and on Jen's. We'll do one call at a time. You don't interrupt. We don't interrupt during the calls, but then we talk after. Well, this person, before I go there, then after we do one call after, and with the commentary, then Curious Jen uploads them all at one time to her channel. And this was done in a specific way to kind of fit everybody's needs and their wants for how they wanted their channel to look, what their purpose was for getting this content, all of that, right? And it gives us a way to make it different and unique. There's not the same thing on each channel while we're all using the same content. Well, this channel was taking calls from when we would play them in a live, on one in particular off of my channel from October. We would play this call and it would be scheduled to come out in 2 weeks with no commentary on Curious Jen's channel. And this channel would just take the call and upload it first before she even had a chance. And that's bullshit. And I'm not going to take it laying down no more. I'm going to strike. I'm not going to put up with that. No matter what, whoever wants to use my content, like, I never care. I truly don't, but it has to be fair use, because this is the thing. We will get punished if we don't strike or we don't try to stop it because of this reused content. So anyways, that video that got taken down, the last JailFile video, had all of this in it. So my message, like, that I wanted to get across was up for like 6 to 12 hours, and then it was taken down. So that's another reason. That's why we're talking about it right now. Hey, Raining on Your Charade. Tess, you guys paid money for it, and you guys did too, and a lot. Hey, Becky. Hey, Stevie's mom. Hey, you guys coming in. Hey, Vicky, Shelly Bean. Hey, Mackenzie. Like I said, we didn't care that much until we realized, whoa, this reused content thing, it's scary. And I'll be damned if I'm going to put years into my channel of consistent research and work just to be done like that. I'm not going to do it. So it's really frustrating. But speaking of, we have some really exciting things to come. So we were supposed to get February and March gel calls last week. They're behind and they're on the way still. But today we placed another order because I promised you guys that when we got paid, I was going to place an order for all of us. So we placed like a major order of a lot of things that some are video of a lot of calls. And I think you guys will be really excited. And I'm really excited. I don't know how, God only knows how long it's going to take, but it is on the way. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Kathy. Foxy. Always curious, Jen in here. Hey, Amy. Lucia. Hey, Jelly Bee. Can we do another rerun of that live? And I thought about it, Jelly Baby, but I didn't want to make you guys like sit through all of that. I don't know. I know Stevie's mom is curious. Jen in here. YouTube is being Chrissy. It can be a confusing, like the rules and stuff. They're not always consistent. It's confusing and frustrating. Hey, Crime Watch Lover and Lynn and Punksy. Good to see you guys. I know, Queen Bella. It was not even an option, and usually it is. You can usually, like, they give you like a blur tool and a couple things, but not on this one. So I don't know. Hey, Amy. There you are, Curious Jen. Yeah, I'm just not happy about that whole situation. I'm not happy that that the live was taken down. At the, I needed the message to be out here in the public, though, in the public domain. Oh, Hamburger Helper, thank you. Supporting whatever you need to do to protect your work and the community. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. That is so sweet. I appreciate that. 2 days till Christmas here in Australia. Merry Christmas, all. Hey, NT's Apple Bottom Jeans. I don't know what I should do because now this series does not have the finale, but to be honest, the finale, we went over that list of things I told you about in like 4 kites, which I still have it pulled up on the last one. Let's redo oh, Amy, you are so sweet. We are always going to support our girls. Oh my gosh, you guys are just the bomb. Well, I still have one of the last kites pulled up. So I think maybe I'll just add this to the end of the list, and that way it'll be somewhat complete, this live that we're on right now. So at the end of that live, I just talked about 4 kites in particular, and there was still like at least 100 to 200 pages of kites that were not read through. But we also listened to the remember she called the tip line. So this kite came out with with the call to the tip line. So let me show you. Oh, East Texas chick. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you too. You ladies have put in so much work to provide for everyone, and it's not okay. It's not. And I don't know why you would because they could get in trouble too. And maybe they don't realize that. Like, it would just suck to have your channel demonetized for reused content over something that's as simple as giving like real commentary, adding value to it. Like I said, add it 5 minutes in the middle of a 10-minute call and just saying, I need to brush up on my Tisha stuff. I can't remember. And then continuing, that is not fair use. Oh, Little Red Riding Hood. You guys, I still haven't gotten emails from my giveaway, the Wax Melts giveaway, which, to be fair, now my phone's a little messed up, but I need to check on my computer. But as of like yesterday, for sure, I hadn't gotten, the winners hadn't reached out to me. So maybe double check your comments, see if you won and reach out. Vicky, just being here, I guess, that's all we can do. We'll just continue doing what we're doing, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully things change. Hey, Shabanae. Okay, I'm here, but around other people, so can't chat. You're my secret earbud voice. That's okay. But I am glad you're here and you got to hear some of this, because I know that you've been incredibly frustrated too. On some of those calls, it's like the October calls in particular, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, that was 40 hours of work just to get them into video format for us to go over. Hey, Combat Vet Price, that's a lot. Hello, everyone listening and running. My FedEx route, being Santa's helper, makes me not happy during this time due to being so busy and late nights, but almost over. Oh my gosh, I cannot imagine. It's an important job, though, for sure, this time of year, especially all times. But thank you, Vicky. I appreciate that so much. Okay, so anyways, I will attach this to the end. You guys know that the file is on Curious Jen's website, so I'm going to put that in the chat now in case you're interested and you missed that live or you want to go back and look at the last bit of the kites or whatever. But I'll just show you the 4 that I did pull during that live, and then I want to talk about a couple other true crime things, and then I'll let you guys go. Jelly Baby says, team, together everyone achieves more. We support you. You ladies are incredible, and the work you put in is unreal. It's beyond unfair what's happening. So much work being lost. Thank you, Jelly Belly. That is really sweet, and that's right. Together everyone achieves more. Hey, Vicky. Hey, listen to me. I'm a nervous wreck. I'm all over the place today. Thank you for joining, Vicky. Welcome. Hey, Nana Banana. Wrapping gifts, listening intently. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Hey, Callie. Hey, 99 problems, but crime ain't one. Okay, so out of those 4 kites, here was one. This was attached to the call to the tip line, or this was like within minutes of that call because we double checked it during that live, what time that call was made and everything. Now remember, there were other calls to the tip line, but this just happened to line up with that particular one that we heard during the December calls. And she just says, report the mail in Douglas County ran over because TYIS is Operation Get Rid of Predators, Chomos, Harassers. He has been there for a long time. He was ran over and left. No dream. Goodbye to that man. And they just said, kite received. At this point, they're like, okay, whatever, lady. Let me see what the other ones were. Oh, one was about feeding week. It looks like in my notes. That's at 2791. She says, blank didn't come last week, and it's been 2 weeks. But it's okay. Don't come now. It's feeding week. You are on the schedule to be seen by the blank. Specific dates and times are not provided due to possible changes. Thank you. Then this one I think is important to highlight. This is just because it's she says, saw the attacker on Deputy Riley's face. I also got bite marks from K Group. And why are the fumes still smell like gas? So I thought that this was important because of that. It's more into that theme of I'm seeing her attacker on somebody else's body, right? It gives her a reason or excuse for why she does the things that she does. And then 2526, I don't know if I did that for a specific reason or if that was when they started or where we left. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, this is the first excuse I've seen about the horrible grammar, but she says, requesting to be taken off to DEP as I am the only one, and I do not disrespect anyone. I don't throw things, fight people like some of inmates, cruel and unusual punishment, 8th Amendment violations, not afforded right of other inmates. Excuse typing, horrible machine. Oh, my God. Hey, Chase. Hey, B Crumbs. Okay, so as far as Letecia and the JailFile goes, everything else, if you want to go look at it yourself, it's on Curious Jen's website. I'm not going to run back through all the things that, like the aliases, many of those things we had already talked about. Even in the affidavit for her escaping, we hadn't went through that affidavit. However, we had went through all of the incident reports and things like that. So it's not really new information. Her property, all of those things. Now, I'm really excited for us to get all the things that are on the way, but because of the holidays and stuff, God only knows how long it's going to take. Hey, I'm a nice guy. Now I want to get into a few other things that I wanted to talk to you about that are about other cases. So let's see. I actually mentioned this at the end of my last live, I believe. But if you've been following the Jeremy Best case with me, then you know that Jeremy was charged with Callie's murder and the murder of their unborn child because Callie was pregnant at the time. However, Zeke, their baby, who, remember, he was found near him when he was found naked in the sleeping bag on the side of the road, he had not been charged for what happened to Zeke yet. Well, now they have added another charge, and that is for what happened. That is for Zeke. So let me just read this for you instead of trying to ad-lib it. A man has been indicted for the alleged murder of his wife, her unborn baby, and their 10-month-old son. Jeremy, 48, was indicted in Teton County by a grand jury Monday on 3 counts of murder in the first degree and 3 enhancements for the use of a firearm or other deadly weapon during the commission of a crime. Count 1 of the indictment states Best killed Callie Randall by shooting her with a firearm, causing her death. Count 2 states that he killed Randall's unborn baby by shooting her and causing her death, thereby causing the fetus's death. And then count 3, this is the new information. Best killed 10-month-old Zeke by inflicting an injury on Zeke Gregory Best's neck using a knife and thereby causing his death. It appears from the indictment, officials are unsure exactly when or where Zeke died. So grand jury proceedings are sealed and there are no further details at this time. I definitely am going to keep my eye on that because, yeah, that's just one that I want to follow really closely. But we have a lot of stuff coming up. I saw Adam Montgomery in the news today. There's some new, well, we're going to actually flip over right now to Idaho. And then let me check the chat and then we'll talk about this for a second. It is horrifying. Oh, Megan, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Super sticker. I don't know 99 problems, but crime ain't one. I really, truly do not. It is sad. It's worse than I imagined, Chrissy said. Oh. Hi, Bridget. I know this is off topic. Just seeing Jared is back with Adventures with Purpose. Why is he not in jail? See, Vanessa, I didn't follow that super closely. I mean, all of that falling out, I really wish I would have followed it a little more. But yeah, I don't know too much about it. I've tried to keep, I know that there's some stuff recently that's come out with one of the guys that used to work with him. I think he's like suing him or there's something, but honestly, if I try to relay it, it'll be inaccurate because I don't know too much about it. So so sad this time of year. I'm sorry, Helen. It is. It's definitely a tough time for anybody who's missing a family member or people that are dealing like these true crime cases right now, unfolding right now. Jared's court date is the 29th. Ooh, thank you, Pointer Lover. My son, 22, and daughter, 21, recently found out they had a 30-year-old brother. They connected on social media and became fairly close and planned to meet soon face-to-face. Wow. The plans always fell through. Wow, Mia. That would be crazy to find out you have a brother at that age. Okay, so Idaho. I do want to talk about this for just a second. So prosecutors in Idaho murder case request new trial date for defendant Brian Kohberger. Prosecutors in the University of Idaho murder case filed a request Thursday to set a trial schedule next year for defendant Brian Kohberger. The Letecia County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, which charged Kohberger with killing 4 U of I students in November of 2022, asked the presiding judge for an approximately 6-week jury trial, including the sentencing beginning in summer of 2024. Trial days would run from 8:30 to 3 each day, according to the proposed schedule. Now, I think they're on West Coast time, right? Out there in the, if I'm not, I'm pretty sure they are. But 3 is going to be, 6 for us. The filing comes less than, or 6 for us on the East Coast. The filing comes less than a week after the judge denied the defense's effort to throw out the grand jury indictment of their client. State attorneys led by Letecia County Prosecutor Bill Thompson requested that the trial dates in Moscow take into account the university and local high school schedule to avoid overlap while they are in session. As the court is aware, the high school is directly adjacent to the courthouse. That makes sense. There's already the significantly increased amount of media and other vehicles related to the case has strained available parking as well as safety and convenience for pedestrians, including students. To meet the summer trial date, prosecutors asked Judge John Judge of Idaho's Second Judicial Court to schedule a hearing to set deadlines for all filings, discovery, exhibits, names of expert witnesses, witness list, and jury instructions. This is exciting. I am really looking forward to this trial now. I know you guys have seen that the House, there's interesting stuff in the media all the time about this case. A lot of it, though, is BS, in my opinion, and it just, I don't know. Sometimes I think that they talk about stuff just to have a subject to talk about Idaho on because it's a subject that people want to hear about. So sometimes you'll hear about pointless stuff that doesn't really matter. I will say, though, Steve Gonsalves did an interview with News Nation recently and talks about the house being destroyed and why he doesn't think it should be so that the jury can go and see what he saw. Like, he kind of infers that he was looking at security footage. So then also, I think Kara's mom signed a petition. I'm trying to catch up with what Mia B was saying. Let's see. Read the rest. They never met. I knew something was up with him. He murdered 2 people. Oh my gosh. Well, thank goodness they didn't. Hey, Alibi. So we're going to follow this trial, though, very closely over here. I really want to file Adam Montgomery's, too. Let me pull up. So what I saw from him, it's really interesting. He doesn't want certain things mentioned at his trial. Let me see if I can get an article about that really quickly. Montgomery. Hold on one second. Here we go. Okay, hold on just a second. Okay. I don't think the house should be torn down yet. Me either. Hey, Connie. Happy holidays. That is so scary, Mia. That case is so complicated. This is the case I am obsessed with. Idaho. I can't wait until trial because I feel like I'm very interested in it too, but I'm not as interested in the stuff that is talked about most oftentimes right now, because I feel like a lot of it is we don't have the information. If you followed Letecia's case, then think about all the information that was in the arrest affidavit versus what came out during the trial. A lot of the things that came out during the trial, the parents didn't even know about yet. So I think a lot of things we're going to be really surprised about. We have no idea what all they have. I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, so let's go look at this article really quickly. This looks like local news in Manchester. Adam Montgomery wants allegations of bad acts, prior convictions excluded from murder trial. Imagine that. Adam Montgomery, who is to be tried in early February. I mean, that's no time, you guys. I cannot get over that. In early February for the murder of his 5-year-old daughter, is asking the court to exclude from trial allegations he neglected and assaulted her and any evidence of his prior convictions. On Thursday, December 21st, public defenders Caroline Smith and James Brooks filed motions in Hillsborough County Superior Court North asking that any alleged prior bad acts by Montgomery be excluded from his trial. They also want evidence that he purchased lime from Home Depot to be excluded as well. Jury selection is to begin February 6, 2024. Really, buddy? I'm sorry. No. When you're being tried for a murder of someone whose body has not been found, I'm pretty sure that the fact that you purchased lime from Home Depot is relevant. I mean, I can't wait for this, you guys. I'm just like biting my nails off waiting for this to start. Similar to who was just asking for, like, oh my gosh, Doberman. Doberman had court not too long ago, and he wanted certain graphic photos to be withheld and things like that. No, when you do these kind of things and you're on trial for this, no, you don't. I'm sorry. I think it all needs to be put out there, even though it's disturbing and graphic, but... Ooh, hey, Bendy, he may be able to keep prior bad acts out, but not the Home Depot purchase. Can you believe February? Oh my gosh, that's really close. I've been waiting for this for so long. I mean, I still remember. It makes me think of Oakley Carlson. You know, she was also not reported missing for way too long. And yeah, it's just going to be nice to see this finally come to some point where there can be closure. Thank you, Star. No, I can't. We've been waiting. I know. I can't believe it either. Let's see what else this article goes into detail about, though. So I hadn't read this yet. I just kind of pulled it up because I saw the headlines earlier for this. Montgomery, 33, is charged with second-degree murder for repeatedly punching Harmony in the head on December 7th, causing her death, falsifying physical evidence, concealing her body, abuse of a corpse, for removing, concealing, or destroying his daughter's corpse, witness tampering for attempting to induce Kayla Montgomery, his estranged wife, to testify falsely. Prosecutors maintain Montgomery murdered his daughter on December 7, 2019, and then in the following months hid her remains in an ice cooler, an apartment ceiling, a commercial freezer, and an apartment refrigerator freezer. Kayla Montgomery told investigators that Adam used lime on Harmony's remains. Lime helps with decomposition. Her body has not been recovered. In a document titled Motion in Limine allegations of prior or subsequent bad acts, defense attorneys said the state has not said it intends to introduce evidence of other bad acts, but out of an abundance of caution, Montgomery was seeking to preclude evidence, including that he sold or possessed firearms, allegations of domestic abuse purportedly against Kayla, allegations of neglect in caring for Harmony, and any assault or assaultive behavior against Harmony other than the charged second-degree assault and the conduct on December 7th. Allegations of assault and or other assaultive behavior against others, including an alleged assault on Corey Watts, allegations he sold illegal drugs, allegations he used illegal drugs and experienced episodes of paranoia due to drug use, allegations of theft, allegations of domestic abuse against Crystal Sorey or prohibiting Sorey from seeing Harmony, evidence that Montgomery was formerly a resident of the Youth Development Center, and evidence of prior convictions. All of that? He wants all of that kept out. That's a lot. Is that I'm curious what you think, Jen, Bendy, because you are much more familiar with the trial process than me. Yeah, no. Yeah, of course. If you want to come up, I definitely do. And no, the creator that has shared our videos is not someone that we work with and never had permission. So yeah, it's different. Plus, like the way that Melissa does it, she does a really great job at making something transformative, no matter what. Like, I love that. I think that here's the link, Jen. She really only plays like 1 minute and then talks for 5, and then plays a minute and talks for 5 and brings in her own like things. When this person that's been taken like the videos, doesn't add anything to it. They literally just say things like, I don't really know about this. I'll have to look into it and stuff like that. So, well, I think the drug use should come in because it contributed to this crime. I agree, as well as the paranoia, you know? And thank you guys for being here, by the way. And let's see. Today, I have another celebration of life. We are celebrating my daughter, 9 years today on December 12th. We have the celebration for my son. Oh, Connie, I'm so sorry. August, November, and December are rough. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, mods, and everybody. Just thank you. Here's Jen, but let me just, since I put it in chat, put up a little thing, Jen. We'll cover it with Letecia because I think that's, there we go. Hello? Jen? I cannot hear you. Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can now.
I forgot to turn on my mic. Oops.
Love you back. So what do you think, Jen? I can't believe February. That feels like right around the corner, and you know it's going to fly by. It always does.
It's going to fly by. It always does. Well, can you do me a big, huge favor and read me the list of stuff that he wants precluded? Just like one at a time, and I'll tell you if I think they'll let it in or not. Please.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And then also, there's something right after that I'll read to you too that I didn't see until I got to the end of the list. That's
okay.
Kind of what in line with this. But okay, so first thing is that he sold or possessed firearms.
That's what he was convicted of. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That one probably won't come in.
Oh,
so
wow.
Okay. Unless the defense accidentally asks a witness something that has to do with the gun charges. It's kind of convoluted in his case because they suspected Adam of Harmony's murder, but what really got the information for them and really sealed his fate was really the gun charges. So that one may come in only insofar as the state can say it was because of this specific case during that investigation and the results of that investigation that led us to where we are today with the murder charges against Harmony. Yeah. But that one, if it comes in, it'll be like in that scope, I think. I'm not an attorney, you guys, but I remember from Murdaugh. I learned a lot from the Murdaugh trial. I also learned a lot from the Depp Heard trial.
Yeah, you've been covering trials for a long time, long before I really saw a lot of people doing it here. But the glarer, so we're not talking that we were talking about Tisha at the beginning, but it's interesting that you say that because it wasn't confirmed, nothing was confirmed, but in the jail files that we just got done going through, it was like 3,000 pages, but you can get them on Curious Jen's website. In the jail files, there were a few incidents, and there was one with with alcohol and then with drugs being found in there, but she very heavily focused on her disdain for all the addicts in the jail and was constantly talking about it to other guards and all kinds of stuff. So but no, this what we were talking about, Adam Montgomery and Harmony. His trial is coming up.
You know,
and
what they're asking for. Oh, sorry.
What's that? Well, they're asking for a list of things to not be brought into the trial for Harmony's death. What'd you think of, Bindi?
Okay, you know how Letecia is about the people in the jail with her while she's awaiting trial, specifically the people that are in there for drugs. You know how she talks about them. And I always sort of kind of thought about it one way, but now I'm kind of thinking about it a different way. I just thought maybe she was bougie or trying to be bougie. But sometimes when you listen to her speak about it, she almost sounds like a reformed smoker. You know how somebody who has quit smoking and they, not everybody that quits smoking is like this, but there are certain people that when they quit smoking, then they are the way that
Like
they are
haters of
about
it.
people who, yes,
Yeah.
and the disdain that they have for the people who do it. Like my dad is a reformed smoker, and he didn't quit because he really wanted to. He quit because he didn't, people have, um, it's not as socially accepted as it was back in the day. And so that's one of the main reasons that he quit. But when he sees me and my sister smoke, he gets so uppity about it. It's hard to explain. I'm not doing a very good job, but it's like they develop this disdain. It's it's not just reformed people who smoke cigarettes. It's also people who have had a history with drug use. Some people who've had a history with drug use and and decided they're not going to do that anymore are more understanding and empathetic and understand the struggle. Now they have clear boundaries about it, but they don't talk about people who are struggling with addiction as if they're horrible people, because
Right.
they don't
Well,
feel that way. But then there's the other side of the coin, who used to be users and they are no longer, and sort of look down on addicts even though they were once there themselves. And I think there's something about Letecia, that just kind of makes you wonder.
didn't she almost go to rehab? Teacup said. I don't know if that was true. I thought that was just, remember, I know what she's talking about. It was brought up in the trial, but I don't think it was verified that she was it like in Canada or something like that. But Jen, I know exactly what you mean. I agree. There's something funky with the way she obsesses over it. She definitely seemed to be on speed when it occurred, but I don't mean I
Some
don't mean to
type
get
of
too long.
upper. Yeah, she was on some kind of upper, because I mean, look, what she did to Gannon was gruesome. And when she hauled her cookies into that police station, that's several days without bathing. I mean, she looks dirty. Her whole body
Yeah.
looks dirty. I mean, not just her hair, her whole being. She looks dirty. And I don't know. There's something there, but I can't quite put my finger on it. And of course, it'd be hard to prove. So,
Yeah,
I'll
I
tell you,
agree with you.
all I'll say for 100% was she was thrown off, and there was and completely not right. Her demeanor
Yep.
was all the way wrong. So there you go. But
She
okay, so what's the
definitely.
next thing?
Okay, well, hold on one sec before we move on. I just want to say Teacup. I don't remember if it was Florida, but I do remember what you're talking about. I remember Dorothy referenced it as if it was true, but they asked the other people that did the evaluations if they found any evidence of that, and I don't think they ever even looked or tried to find it. So I just don't know for certain about that, but it's interesting. Okay, so back to Adam
Wait, before
Montgomery.
I
The next
forget,
thing.
one little quick thing, really quick. So when she went in to have that, when they took her because she made those essay allegations, okay, and she would not agree to a SANE exam, but they ended up getting an order where they could clip her fingernails and stuff. The hospital ran a talk screen on her. Now, we would never be privy to that information. However, the fact that it was part of an investigation, I suspect that they would be subject to those results. And the fact that it was never brought up means that most likely nothing was found, nothing illicit or nothing that she didn't have a prescription for. That's what I should say.
If Vyvanse would have been found, I'm sure they would have brought it up. However, it wasn't in Gannon's system. So, and they never found the Lortabs in the house. But I do want to get back onto Adam Montgomery before we get too far from that. And the list, what we were talking about, you guys, is there's a list of things that he's asking to not be brought in. to the courtroom. And we talked about one already, which was the firearms, but are you ready for the next one?
Yes, babe, I'm ready.
Okay, so allegations of domestic abuse purportedly against Kayla Montgomery.
Only allegations, yes.
Yeah, it says allegations, but I mean, with the way that it's rumored that Harmony passed, I would think that would be relevant too.
Yeah, it should be well, okay, so this one's kind of complicated because a lot of the Kayla says that the reason she didn't tell was because she was afraid of Adam Montgomery, right? And she also said that, and then once she was away from him for a while, I guess, she felt safer to tell. It's hard to tell with her story though, because, it's of the circumstances. So, that one they would probably limit it, because there's, they would probably, I mean, I'm sure that I think they would let it in a little bit, but again, under very limited use because of that. Well, I know what it is in South Carolina. It's that 801 rule where it's the probative value. How does it go? I'll get back to me. Give me a minute. I'll think about it. Sorry.
Okay.
My
Thank you,
mind is
Helen.
everywhere today. I need some type of something.
Mine is too, so that's okay. I understand for sure. And thank you, Helen. I appreciate that so much. That's very sweet. Okay,
I know what it is.
I didn't.
I know what it is. The amount of prejudice that it would cause outweighs any probative value. So they would have to be very, very careful about the way that the state would have to be very, very careful about the way they questioned Kayla. But more importantly, the defense would have to be very, very careful the way that they cross-examine Kayla. See, because remember with Murdaugh, it was actually the defense in their cross-examination that opened the door for these past behaviors to be allowed in. They might not allow the state to introduce them, but there's nothing that keeps the defense from doing it. So if the defense were to question Kayla in such a way that they elicit a response where she talks about an incident of domestic violence between she and Adam, then they've opened the door.
Right. Okay. Thank you, B Crumbs, for getting that. And then Kathy said prejudicial versus probative, Thug Nasty 403B rule, prior bad acts. I think that might have been the argument you were looking for, though, what Kathy said, the prejudicial versus probative.
The prejudice, the prejudice nature of the testimony outweighs any probative value. Yeah. So it'd be a fine line, but we'll see.
B Crumbs, thank you again and again. Oh my gosh, thank you. That is freaking sweet. Well, yeah, I mean, I could see a couple people put in the chat, Queen Bella, and one other person. I think, like, if there's no proof or they're just allegations, I could see them making a good argument as far as that goes. But I guess, like you said, we'll have to see. Okay, so the next one are allegations of neglect in caring for Harmony and any assault or assaultive behavior against Harmony other than the charged second-degree assault and the conduct on December 7th, 2019, alleged by Kayla. So they want everything else thrown out. But if you remember, a huge part of the search for Harmony and when we still didn't know anything really, Uncle Kevin had came out and said that, Harmony had these black eyes that Adam told him himself. He bashed her around the house, and that's what caused the black eye. I think that was like his words, bashed her around the house. It was something like that. So will they be able to keep those allegations out, even though they're part of the record with CPS and everything with the search?
See, if they're part of the record, I think that I think that the defense is going to have a hard time keeping those out because while he's not technically been convicted of crimes like that, CPS was out to the house. There was a paper trail made, and it does go to what happened on the
To
day
her,
that
yeah.
to her. So they, again, there would probably be limited in what they were allowed to divulge and elicit through testimony as far as the state goes. But the defense, they have to be careful too, not to inadvertently open doors that they would want closed. But I think that one's going to be harder for them to keep out for sure.
Okay, good. Thank you, Katrina. And also, Debbie, thank you. That's very sweet. I appreciate that so much. Okay, the next one is allegations of assaults and or assaultive behavior, including an assault on Corey Watts. So it's on somebody else who's not related to the, it's not Harmony or the kids.
Yeah, that one might be, they might keep that out. That one they probably would keep out. Because
I can see that. Oh my gosh, Shay, thank you. And then Debbie too. You guys are way too good to me. Thank you guys. Go ahead, Jen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but no, babe, you're fine. I'm the one that came up here and interrupted everything. Yeah, I think that that I don't think that they would let that in, and that they probably will keep that out because they really don't need it to. If they're going to let the other stuff in, even in limited use, they don't need another situation. Really, what they need to show the jury really is how he picks on how he's abusive to people who are smaller and vulnerable. So Harmony, Kayla, any of the other children in the house, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So that'll probably that might not come in, but the rest of the other stuff I mentioned probably will.
Okay.
They might limit it though.
Thank you, Katrina. Sorry. Thank you, Katrina,
Oh, no,
for
you're good.
gifting another one. You guys are awesome. Okay, so the next ones kind of go together. There are allegations that he sold drugs, and then allegations he used drugs and experienced episodes of paranoia due to drug use.
This one makes no sense to me because while they're trying to get him a completely not guilty, they're trying, plea, or they're trying to get for him to be found completely not guilty. That probably will come in. Not the selling so much. That might be limited, but the doing, yeah, it goes to who he is as a person and his habits, and that plays a role in all of it. So
Yeah.
I can't see them keeping that out.
Okay. I hope you're right, because I think this is just a very I get why they're asking. I know it's pretty crazy to see that they want all this kept out, especially if you're not as used to that. I don't watch trials like that like you do, you know what I mean? So I don't know as much about it, and I see all this and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. No.
This is pretty standard operating procedure. So what the defense is going to do is ideally they want nothing let in, right? That's ideal. And then they start as they go through the motions and as the judge rules about what's going to be let in and what's not going to be let in, then they start to really, really fine tune their defense based on evidence that the state argues that yes, we want that in, and here's why. Some of the stuff that they're asking for is less about. They know that some of this stuff is going to come in for sure. Especially when we get down to the later things on the list, they know that some of this stuff is going to come in. So I think what they just take a shot, right? But they also get to hear the state's rebuttal about why it should come in, and that will give them a clue about how they intend to use it. And so then they know how to sort of, start getting reasonable doubt injected into the case.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be interesting because a lot of it weighs back on Kayla.
A lot of it. Kayla's going to be problematic.
Yeah. Even for me it is, because not that I think that he's innocent. I don't. And I think there's a lot of evidence that shows that he was part of this. But I think that, she might be trying to get create distance
Well,
that wasn't actually there with her with this.
right, exactly. And the fact of the matter is, it isn't like, and this is something that the defense is going to bring up, and it's not like they're wrong. They're not incorrect. This is true. The fact of the matter is that Kayla had incentive to all of the sudden come clean. It wasn't to clear her
Right.
conscience. It wasn't if she did it out of the goodness of her heart, she would have done it from jump.
Yep, agree. Absolutely agree.
But she
She
didn't.
lied multiple times. Yeah.
She
So
lied and she interfered, and she, if she had told the truth from minute one, there might have been a chance for Harmony's body to be recovered in a state where where they could, maybe perform an autopsy, and not only that, but also lay her little body to rest. I mean, she's just out there somewhere, God only knows where. I mean, it's just the way that she's been treated is disgusting, and by somebody that is supposed to love her. It's foul. It's disgusting.
yep, it is. It absolutely is. She was receiving food stamps for her, Tisha. Yep. And I don't know. I really look forward to hearing her though. Okay, so the next one is allegations of domestic abuse against Harmony's mom and allegations that he prohibited mom from seeing Harmony.
That will come in. That will probably come in.
I thought so too, especially the second part, you would think.
Well, see, so much of this case is about how we got to where we are today. How did Adam get her in the first place? And the only way that they're going to be able to get that evidence in and have somebody who was there. I mean, they have that evidence, and it's through CPS, but they'd much rather have Harmony's mom talk about it, explain it. And
she probably will be a witness, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what about evidence of his prior convictions unless he testifies?
Well, that's true. So that probably won't come in because of the rule I mentioned, because the prejudicial nature outweighs any probative value. And so what we don't want to get in a trial, this is what they try to avoid, where you say, well, listen, this guy is a criminal. He sold drugs, he bought drugs, he sold and stole firearms. He's a criminal, and therefore he's the type of person that would be capable of committing this crime. That's not how it's supposed to work in the court of law. How it's supposed to work in a court of law is Adam Montgomery is not just a person who's capable of committing this crime, but he had the means, the motive, and the opportunity to do it. And here's how it happened. That's what the state has to prove. So that probably will be kept out.
Okay, now listen to this. This is quite interesting.
Okay.
This, I guess, was in the this motion. So they. Okay. Which we know in August he was sentenced to 32 and a half to 75 years, and he's appealing that. But it says, while the defense attorneys want those specific allegations and evidence excluded from trial, they also want the court to allow them to impeach Kayla Montgomery, who is the state's key witness, with her criminal record. Specifically, they want the court to admit evidence of her felony convictions on 2 charges of perjury for lying to the grand jury investigating the disappearance and death of Harmony and false report to police officer. They argue that charges of receiving stolen property and theft by deception were pending when she first implicated Adam. They say, quote, Mr. Montgomery asserts that the charges pending at the time Ms. Montgomery was purportedly cooperating with police and up to her plea on the perjury charges gave motive for her to curry favor with the police for both issues of bail and the ultimate outcome of the then pending charges. I could see that.
Well, yeah.
As for purchasing the lime, they just get into her things about the lime. But
okay, so here's the deal. Do they? Okay. Well, let me just say the one thing. Let me just start with Kayla first. They're allowed to impeach Kayla's testimony, and the way that they're going to do it exactly how we talked about and how they talk about in this article. They have to show that Kayla did not come forward because she is a person of, great character and strength. She came forward because she had charges pending. She had weight on her shoulders, and she was, for lack of a better word, up against the wall, and she did it to curry favor. They do this anytime there is a, look what they did. If you guys watched with Luis Rivera in Charlie Adelson's trial, and with Catherine McBanois, they really went at his defense really went at Catherine McBanois, although that had less of an impact when they were trying to impeach her, because they had, said, well, don't you want something out of this? The only way you're going to get out of this is if the state goes before the judge and says, hey, look, man, she helped us out. This is how we got the money behind all of this. This is how we got the people who set all of this in motion, who wanted this murder done in the first place, all the things, right? But she didn't have a deal on the table. Luis Rivera, now he did. And so they went after that. But, a lot of times, depending on the person, depending on the deal they get, et cetera, and what the jury hears and the way they perceive that evidence, sometimes they'll place a great value or great weight on what Kayla says, and they probably will, because at the end of the day, she's the only, besides Harmony and the other children, she was the only witness to things that day. And they're probably they can simultaneously believe that she has a motive for being up there, but also believe she's telling the truth about it.
Yep.
So,
interesting.
Now what's the deal with the lime?
Thank you, Katrina. Okay, so this is also interesting because I didn't know this, and I know that we read through that stuff together. So I don't know if maybe you remember this.
Okay.
I guess he bought 2 bags. Police obtained records of 2 purchases from Home Depot during the relevant time period. The first was a cash transaction for a 40-pound bag of pelletized limestone on February 15th of 2020. The second was another cash transaction for another 40-pound bag of pelletized limestone, a lithium-ion battery and charger, and a fuel grinder, and a metal cutting diamond blade from Home Depot's Manchester location. So financial records indicated the money sufficient to cover the cost of this transaction was withdrawn from Kayla's account at an ATM less than a mile away. However, the video from that ATM has been destroyed, so they didn't recover the video.
Well, so that will probably come in, and they're going to be hard pressed to keep it out. But there wasn't any video footage of George Wagner in the Pike County Massacre trial. They didn't have video surveillance and of the purchases of the firearms. And what they ended up having, how they were able to show and all of the family's finances were interconnected, is through a forensic accountant. And they could show that specific amounts of money were taken from George and what is his brother's name that's on the top of my is it Jacob? From their accounts and deposited into their mother's account, and then specific bills being paid. So they're able to do all of that. And if they can go back through Kayla's financial transactions and show that their finances were interwoven, while the account may have been in Kayla's name, that Adam had access to it. So if they can, that probably will come in.
It's very interesting. Well, I feel like it was probably both of them, but I know that Kayla claimed to not know, about it or about the tools, but her story was so detailed. If you remember the part about the shower, and I don't know.
It's really unfortunate that the state in this case had to make a deal with the devil in order to in order to find out what happened to Harmony. It's really sad. It's sad, but Harmony deserves justice. And
Follow
Like
it
maybe
together, right? The trial.
of course. Are you kidding me? Who else would I follow it with?
I cannot wait. I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, babe, you're fine. So, you know me and my Miss America answer. Sometimes you need to interrupt me and be like, hey, Miss America answer. I need like
That's
a buzzer
all right.
when
We
I
love
go too
your
long.
answers. They're very
Thank you.
insightful when I go too long.
I need like a buzzer.
And I love the way you ended it with the K.
Yeah.
The
When I go too long.
So, because I talked to you last night, but I've been like really just like anxiety ridden and kind of staying off of YouTube and out of, well, now, like, I don't know if I told you this part, my phone screen isn't working half the time, but I've just been a little absent. Yeah. Like from the bottom down, it's just totally black half the time. You can't see anything. But so anyways, I've been absent and I've missed a lot. But what are you got going on your channel right now? Are you going live tonight still? And are you ready for Christmas and stuff?
Well, I'm as ready for Christmas as I'm gonna be. I don't know if I'm gonna be live tonight, and here's why, you guys. I'm really still very feeling the effects of the demonetization and the fact that it was reused content. And even though fair use is something completely different, that has to do with copyrighted material. I'm trying to figure out a way to show you guys the stuff that I want to show you that has to do with the testimony in Nick Go to John's trial in a way that is wholly and completely unique. Meaning whatever I add to the testimony, you could only get from me, that you could not go to Law and Crime and learn this from the testimony itself. And that's fair. I'm worried about it. I'm not going to lie. And so I probably won't be live tonight. However, I will be live Saturday afternoon at noon to talk about the Judge Boyce ruling in Chad Daybell's case. I want to talk to you guys about that and why I feel like Judge Boyce made the ruling that he did. So
Okay.
that's
I'm waiting for
that's
that
what I
one
want to
too.
play. I mean, you guys, Allie will tell you, she knows, because I tell Allie all the things. Every time I get an email from YouTube or it just says the M for Gmail, my heart just races. And it's going to take me, I just need maybe like a few more days for that to dwindle and get better and stuff. But I just want to make sure that I keep things from ever being even sort of halfway, could maybe fall in the category of reuse content. I don't want to go through this again. I really don't. It was too much. I'm telling you.
It was. That's why that's what I was saying at the beginning, like our calls, and that like we're gonna have to be really firm about like not letting people yank our content, and that's just unfortunately the way it is.
Yeah. It's just going to take us. It's going to take me a minute. But I promise you that once I figure out the right combination, you guys are really going to like it. I found something that I was looking for, and I had forgotten where it was, but I found it, and I am excited to show you guys. I really just want to make sure, like I said, that I show it the right way.
It's like you have PTSD. Almost,
A little bit.
You know what I mean? Like a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit.
But I think that will fade some. You are incredibly talented at everything you even try to do, but you're very talented. You're smart. I think that anything you put out is just unique no matter what. It's just unfortunately bad AI. I think that's most cases that I've seen. I have seen a few that were real, and I even have talked to someone who told me that hers was done and she was like clipping from other channels and stuff, and it was real. But with us, I do believe that it's just unfortunately
it was a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
and
was a
two.
mistake, but I worry that it can be a mistake again. That's my thing. And I will get it. I will eventually work it through logically in my brain, and I'll be okay with it about it and everything, but it's just going to take me a second. I don't rebound like I did when I was younger, you know?
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing you talk about Daybell. Because I'm looking forward to that trial just as much as Adams. Well, I think maybe a
Yeah.
little more with Adams because we know a lot of this stuff with Daybell, but I'm ready to see him pay for what he's done.
Yes.
But yeah, and then
I wish that I was really kind of thinking that the closer it got to trial, um, that maybe Adam Montgomery would try to get a plea deal with the state in exchange for telling them where her remains are.
yeah,
I still hold out like a tiny little itty bitty amount of hope for that. But you know,
yeah, it's just so awful
yeah,
to think about. She's just out there, God knows where, you know.
I know. I just wish, even if they don't find, I mean, whatever they're going to find probably by this time is, just just her little skeletal remains, but for her family and for
Yeah,
other people, if I lived near where she would, end up being buried, I would absolutely go out there and,
try to
lay
help.
flowers at her grave. And not only that, but I saw a short one time, a couple of days ago, about a woman who, she's a cleaning service, and she does like these, I mean, we're talking about like hoarder level homes. And recently she went out to a graveyard and she found the grave of a baby. And it was not kept up. And she cleaned that baby's,
Aw,
grave site for free. And I thought to myself, when I whenever someday I will hit that 10,000 mark where, you can do fundraisers, wouldn't it be something nice to do to find, to maybe find a charity that does do that kind of work that
yeah, I
that
think that'd be awesome.
maintains, yeah, that maintains, graves and stuff, so that their loved ones can have a place to go and visit them, and you know what I mean, because that's really
Yeah,
what it's for. I don't know.
yeah, I love that. And you're close. You are not far from it now. I think I'm just waiting on it any time now for you to hit that 10K. Because yeah, you're very close now. Jackie
Thank
says I'm
you.
doing Christmas January 25th, running about a month behind.
Ah, yeah,
Well,
so
well, I'm just so glad that you're remonetized now, and yeah,
me
I'm just
too.
glad that that's over. I know it's still like gotcha. It's Christmas just is good about putting people in a funk, anyways. Even though it's so much fun
Hmm.
sometimes, and with little ones, it can be so stressful, anyways. And
It can be
plus,
stressful.
you've openly said this a lot, so I don't think it's wrong. But you're kind of going through a new kind of Christmas. Your kids are,
Yeah.
out exploring life, and it's just it's
Well,
just a
I'm an
new.
empty nester. It's just me and my cats and Nestor. And I don't even know for how much longer I'm going to have Nestor, but I do want to tell you guys, because I'm not going to go live tonight. But I see so many of you guys that, I know me and Allie share subscribers, and it's part of you guys are all part of our community. And I told you guys would be the first to know. The 21st has come and gone, and your girl did not get paid. I didn't think that I would. I had prepared for it, and thanks to you guys' generosity, I'm okay. But I just wanted to let you guys know that, I did not, and I probably won't, because that email thing is to let you know you're going to be paid, and that YouTube has from the 21st to the 26th to make the deposit. But that email is what is imperative, because the email lets you know that you're going to get paid. And there's even if when I go into my AdSense account on the YouTube side, it says that my monetization was taken away, and that YouTube is holding my earnings. I mean, I can't get it. You mean that's pretty clear?
Yeah, and I did get all of mine from the last 2 months, so I think that's what will happen to you.
Yeah.
Hey, Muscles and
Yeah.
Mascara, and then welcome, Megan. Thank you for joining. Aw. Now your name will be green. She was asking, I think that I feel bad because she tried to join and accidentally did a super chat instead.
Aw.
Yeah, so.
There you go, Megan. Now you got it.
Hey, there's Melissa Jade. Hey, Miss Melissa. Well, Jen, I don't know. I guess we'll be doing more phone calls whenever we get them, but I know that people are anxiously waiting. I'm waiting, but gosh, we were supposed to get them when last Monday, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Mm-hmm. It is what it is. It's out of our control, you guys. And the three of us are never going to be those people. Although my son texted me, my youngest son texted me the other day to check in, and he is potentially up for a management position. And I told him that I cannot wait for him to get a management position just so I can come in and be like, let me speak to the manager. And he said that he said, well, I'll just tell you if you ask to speak to the manager that I'm disinclined to acquiesce your request. And I said, well, then I'll tell you, I'll scream in front of everybody, but I'm a YouTuber. And he said, I'm sorry, ma'am, 100,000 subscribers or more. Where it doesn't count as you're a YouTuber, but it was just just a little levity between me and my son. I'm so proud of him. I'm proud of all of my kiddos. Minnie Bendy is doing very well. My oldest son is doing very well. Elizabeth is my oldest daughter, and Olivia Chicky Nuggy Pot Pie Esquire are all doing very, very well. Olivia is very excited for Santa to come. So she's getting very excited. It's a good time of year.
Ooh, you'll have to send her that video of like the Santa because I used to show it to Bentley all the time. It's like as he's crossing the world, and it's like he's in Ireland now, and it's like has like a little
yes. I should send that to her. Oh, she would. And you're right.
I'll find a good one.
Debbie, there's plenty of other stuff to talk about, and we will be talking about it. Don't you worry.
Absolutely.
I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about.
Me too. And tonight I was supposed to have a live on Real Talk with Foxy, which I think we're going to push back because she's not been feeling good. I've not been feeling good. It's just the whole thing. She's had company. But it was supposed to be tonight at 6, and I got to double check with her after this live exactly when and what we're going to do. But it's going to be on like psychics in true crime, and what are they adding? How are they hurting? What's okay? What's too far? Are these psychics, all these claims you've heard that these readings came out before, they're like, we're going to double check some things, and I think it'll be really good. I'm excited.
Oh, I've been looking forward to that live, you guys. I even told Allie when I saw it scheduled how excited I was for this live because Allie does impeccable work. And one thing that I like about Allie, I like a lot of things, but this is one that I like a lot. This is at the top of the list. Is that no matter what Allie's personal feelings or thoughts are, she is open to presenting both sides of the scenario and listening. And I appreciate that because you can believe in that kind of in psychic abilities, right? And yet also not believe that this specific psychic has psychic abilities. It's a lot of shades of gray. Y'all know why we're staying in the shades of gray. So yeah,
there is. And even if you believe it, even if you believe there's a whole nother conversation that is in true crime. Let's say like some of it is 100% true. Like some of the stuff that I've seen recently involving Summer. How far is too far you putting it out there on a public platform, and what does that mean? So I think
I mean, I think when you are, regardless of how what it is that you are bringing to a specific true crime case, whether it's like Allie and I and Melissa and Crime Curious, where we're talking about the case itself, right? Or you are talking about a potential psychic reading. I think because these cases involve, I mean, this is a crime, and you've got to be there's a high level of responsibility in the way that you report your findings, regardless of what those findings are and what part of what little niche of true crime you're in. You have a responsibility to the case and mainly to the victim in that case.
Yep, I completely agree. I definitely agree.
I feel like
The
maybe
link to
we
the
should
lab
have
is
to
in the
take the
chat.
harm. We should take. I think sometimes maybe true crime content creators should be forced to take that Hippocratic oath that
Yes.
doctors do. The first do no harm. We maybe should have to. And I try to think about that before I report on a case. Is this going to do harm at any point? Not just right this second, but later on down the road. You know, I was listening to Chasing the other night, and she was talking about how Summer's brothers, we don't know what they have access to, if they have phones or not, and if they've ever looked up stuff on her case, on their sister's case, you know. And it reminded me of the whole thing with Diane Downs, who got pregnant right before she went to trial. And when she had the baby, she had a little girl, and she ended up giving the baby up for adoption. Well, the daughter had no idea who she was for a very, very long time, until one day her friends wanted her to come over after school, and guess what movie they put in? Small Sacrifices. And that's how she found out who her biological mother was. That's really, that'll mess up a 12-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think about
for sure.
that. Like, you know, what if that happens? What if they find out who those boys' brother is, and their friends take it upon themselves to be like, hey, let's hit up the YouTubes. Can you imagine what they might stumble on?
No, I could not. And that is so scary to think about and so sad. And I think I heard that live too from Chasing, and that's what really got me thinking about this subject.
We were in there together. That's right. We were in there together.
Yep.
Unknowingly for a minute.
You are amazing alone, but this has been an outstanding live with you and Jen Lou. And then David said, great conversational chemistry between Allie and Jen. And thank you guys. And
thank you.
I love having my friend always.
She's my friend, and I love chatting with Allie. So thank you.
Me too. Muscle says, really wish more people would think about all the victims and what they may see later, and even all the new people finding out about Summer's case. All the misinformation sets them down the wrong path. Yeah. Oh my God. Imagine starting to follow it now, trying to go, whew.
And yeah, it's hard. And you have to remember too that, it's an open and active investigation. We have no idea what they do with this case as far as investigating on a day-to-day. We don't know. But can you, especially in the beginning when there were probably lots of tips coming in, the police investigate each and every one of those tips.
Yep. Even when they're bad and they're based on some stupid YouTube video or whatever.
Right.
Thank you, Lynn, for linking that.
I think everybody that worked on Gannon's case, when they heard Letecia's story of Eduardo, all probably felt 99.9% sure that it was baloney, right? But it had to be investigated, and they did investigate it.
Exactly. Teacup says, I discovered a first cousin is an attempted murderer / child abuser through a random Googling my maiden name. As an adult, it was disturbing. I can't imagine being a kid. Wow, that is crazy. Yeah. And thank you for sharing. Yeah, because that gives perspective.
Yeah. It does give perspective. I believe that Diane Downs' biological daughter, I know it's on YouTube, and I want to tell you guys that it's a 2020 episode or a Dateline episode, but you guys really should check out that interview that she gives, because Diane, the things that Diane Downs put her through when she reached out to her and said, I'm your daughter. Oh, you guys got to just, and maybe if it makes you wonder if she ever would have been told, or if her adoptive parents, I think they were going to tell her, but I think they were going to tell her when she was much older. And I think just finding out that way, watching Small Sacrifices, is really messed up. And I think that that's probably part, and I think she does talk about it being one of the reasons why then she felt so compelled to reach out to Diane. And she had, bless her heart, she had no idea the kind of person she was dealing with. She really messed with her head a lot, you guys, a lot.
Did they say her name in the movie? Chrissy says, did they say the bio daughter's name in the movie?
No, but it was like, this was, back in the day, and nothing much has changed. I mean, as far as how people gossip. And the fact of the matter is, at some point, her adoptive parents, they were very well aware of who the biological mother was. And I think that they had told somebody. It's been a minute since I've listened to that interview, but I think one of the mothers was overheard having a conversation with another adult by one of the children. And that is how they put 2 and 2 together. And it ended up the way that it ended up, with them knowing about who she was and renting that movie. You have to listen to her interview, though. It's been, like I said, it's been a long time since I listened to it. I just mainly remember the impact that finding out that information the way that she did had on her. And when Chasing Truth was talking about that the other night, it made me think about it and remember it, about it with respect to Summers Brothers.
Yeah, that is so interesting. Well, I'm so glad you came up, but I'm going to end this, you guys, because I have to reschedule that live. I think it's at 6. I need to talk to Foxy, but I am sharing the link in the chat right now so that you guys can, maybe the notifications will work when it's rescheduled. I don't know. Maybe I should make a whole new link. I don't know.
Well, what you should do probably, Allie, is if it's going to be, because it's been put off for what, like a week now?
Yeah.
Okay, what I would do probably is go through StreamYard and delete the broadcast. Make sure that you check the box that says delete on YouTube, and then create, when you guys have a more firm date, as long as it's coming quickly. But because you might have difficult time getting notifications to go out for that.
That's what I was thinking.
And I don't want people to miss it. But as soon as you do, message me, and I will absolutely 100% share it on my community tab, because I think it's going to be a fantastic live and a fantastic conversation, and I can't wait to watch. I'm very excited.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm so excited too. All right. Well, I love you so much, and thank you for coming up in chat. I love you guys. Appreciate you. Thank you to the mods. And thank you. You'd have to miss when, Lynn. We didn't say when. I just said it's not going to be.
Lynn, are you giving us a Marsha Brady? Something suddenly came up?
Yeah. All right. I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you soon. And Jen, I hope you do as well. And I love you so much.
And hey, I love you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me. All right. Huh?
Oh, you said, and hey, I was like, well, I didn't know if you were going to say something else or.
No, I said, and thanks.
Oh,
thanks for having me.
You said, and hey, and then you just stopped. I was like,
no, I didn't pull Letecia on you. Oh, hey, I didn't pull Letecia on you. You're humongous. Okay, baby. I love you. Bye-bye. Bye, you guys.
All right. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.
Bye. Bye.